we right now are working on an extremely interesting product liability case involving a Harley Davidson motorcycle. It's a trike. It's a three-wheeled motorcycle, and it's a very tragic case. It involves a Harley Davidson vehicle that Harley Davidson themselves issued a recall for. So they essentially acknowledged that the product they put out onto the market was potentially dangerous. It had a traction control device, which deals with the wheels on this vehicle. Computer component was malfunctioning at times and sending the wrong signal to the rear wheels, which would at times cause one of the rear wheel brakes to activate. Obviously, that's not a good thing if you're driving along on a motorcycle on a road or a highway and one of your brakes activates without you doing it. And Harley Davidson, realizing that this was a problem, at least initially did the right thing. And this is where recall notices come in. And they issued a recall notice. Unfortunately, in our case involving our client, an accident had happened involving him before the recall was issued, where we believe the product failed in that exact manner. And he had the trike repaired or the bike repaired at a Harley Davidson dealership. They repaired it and gave it back to him and said, here you go, it's safe, it's fine. And shortly thereafter, our client got the recall notice. And of course, that was like a light bulb going off in his head. He said, wait a minute, this recall notice, for a brake activating improperly is exactly what happened to me 6 months ago, where I got hurt and my fiance was hurt. And he went to Harley and said, I think you should pay the medical bills. He didn't even bring a lawsuit or ask to be compensated for his injuries or his wife's injuries at that time. He just said, I think this failed because of your recall notice and you should pay the bills. They said no, but he brought the bike back to the same dealership and said, fix it pursuant to Harley's instructions to correct the defect in the bike. They claimed they did and gave him back the bike. And then shortly after they gave him back the bike, the exact same thing happened again, only this time my client's wife was unfortunately tragically killed and he was severely injured. So we have brought a lawsuit against Harley Davidson for product liability. And we know that they admitted that the product was failing at times. They're denying that it did in this case, but we'll see how the evidence comes out. It seems pretty clear that it did twice here. And that's a lawsuit that's being pursued, a very important lawsuit being sued against Harley Davidson with tragic results, claiming that their product failed. It didn't perform as it was designed to perform, and it performed in an unsafe manner, which unfortunately caused the death of one woman and extremely serious injuries to another person. Terrible.